Now, you guys know on this show, we don't get into international politics. We don't get into domestic politics. We'll talk about human issues like equality and things like that and representation, but I don't like to get into politics on the show, domestic, foreign, or otherwise. But this story is something that is way outside my pay range, but still something I feel like we should discuss a little bit. If for nothing else, to really highlight the fact about how little we really know how the world works around us. So here's the thing. You guys know one of the biggest things in the world in entertainment right now is the Netflix series Squid Game, right? Took the world by storm. It became Netflix's #1 all-time watch show a little while ago. Came out of nowhere, lightning in a bottle, just caught everybody off guard. And it's really good. I don't think it's the best thing on Netflix, but it's really good. It's really quite good. I got through it pretty quickly and I enjoyed it a lot. Now, apparently the show is banned in North Korea. Not just Squid Game, but like any South Korean produced entertainment apparently is banned in North Korea. I didn't know there was a blanket ban on all South Korean stuff. I didn't know that. I also didn't know how stiff the penalties were. Because the guy who smuggled Squid Game on a USB drive into North Korea, they caught him, and he's been sentenced to death. He's been sentenced to death for smuggling in Squid Game. This comes to us from the folks over at IndieWire who writes this. A man has reportedly been sentenced to death in North Korea for smuggling copies of Netflix blockbuster series Squid Game into the country. According to Radio Free Asia via Variety, authorities were led to the man after they caught high school students watching the series. The report states that Squid Game was smuggled into the country from China through the use of a USB flash drive. Squid Game is not available in China, but remains popular thanks to piracy websites smuggling. The smuggler faces death by firing squad, while the students involved in bringing Squid Game into the school are facing prison sentences, and even saying that it could be a life sentence. Radio Free Asia reports that a student who bought a let me try this again. Radio Free Asia reports a student who bought a drive received a life sentence, while 6 others who watched the show have been sentenced to 5 years hard labor, and teachers and school administrators have been fired and face banishment to work in remote mines. Let me read that again. A student, now the guy who brought it in is going to be facing a firing squad. He's going to die. The kids in school who watched it, the student who bought the drive received a life sentence, while 6 others who just watched it have been sentenced to 5 years hard labor. And the teachers and school administrators who were at that school who allowed this to happen have been fired and face banishment to work in remote mines. Banishment and are going to have to work in remote mines. Now, this all comes from this. As noted by Variety in December 2020, North Korea passed the Elimination of Reactionary Thought and Culture Act, which prohibits the entry and dissemination of cultural material like films, plays, music, and books in the country. The act is mainly aimed at preventing the spread of media from South Korea and the U.S., and those found distributing or consuming these are liable to be punished. According to widespread reports, in April this year, a man was publicly executed for selling drives and CDs containing South Korean material. I don't know where to start. Now, again, let's all know this is way above our pay grade. Way above our pay grade. This is so outside of the normal scope of the stuff that we will discuss here in on the John Campea Show. But we're talking about the de facto most popular show in the world. And for watching this show, a high school kid is going to get 5 years in prison? For that high school kid watching it, teachers and administrators at the school who had nothing to do with it are fired and banished. It's like when I find out that Ray steals a Kit Kat from the local 7-Eleven.
Every day.
And the John Campea
That's why
Show.
Sometimes I come in late.
The John Campea Show gets canceled as a result, and I get fined $1 million.
It's insane.
I mean, it's rough. And we here in North America, and we should, when there are issues of free speech, we should make a fuss about it. But, you know, we got people who claim this is like Nazi Germany, that I have to wear a mask in an indoor store. You know what? Shut up. just shut up. I again, this is just confounding to me. Like when somebody shared this with me on Twitter earlier, and my first thought was it was a joke, because we know things are harsh in North Korea. Mm-hmm. But sentence to death for smuggling in Squid Game? I didn't think it was that bad. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. But sentence to death for smuggling in a show. Life in prison for buying the USB drive with the show, and 5 years for just watching it.
Hard labor, working in mines.
I don't know what to say. Look, I'm just going to acknowledge right here, I have nothing intelligent to say on this. This is way above my pay grade. This is weird, but it's just so funny thinking about the stuff we get to watch and enjoy. Let us celebrate the fact that we get to watch and enjoy whatever the hell we want. Like, people complain that, oh, when something gets an NC-17, that's censorship. That's not censorship. You can still watch it if you want. If you're an adult, you can still go watch it if you want. You can probably, there might be a few more limitations on how you can watch it, but you can still watch whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to face a firing squad for watching it.
Firing squad.
Squid Game was that hot. That
even people were willing to risk this just to watch it.
Not just some viewers. It had all the viewers.
All the viewers. They did. The show, number one worldwide. So, of course, high school kids are going to think, man, we want to get in on this. We want to see this. But, I mean, it's so crazy. Sad.
And just because it came from South Korea?
It
just makes you value art more and the freedom to explore art, you know, here or other places that have that freedom. But I haven't heard a story like this. Like,
this is crazy.
I feel like not ever, but because you read the history books, but like in our day and age, like I knew things over there were bad, but I think let this be an education to us about different things that are happening in the world, you know, raising awareness about different things. It's nothing, I don't see anything that we can do except for to appreciate our ability to express and consume art.
Just to me, absolutely crazy. It just startled me and confounded me. And I was like, I wanted to talk about it, but I don't even know what to say.
It's obvious they live by different rules, right?
Oh,
obvious, obvious.
That,
and they know the rules. I'm not saying that this is not messed up, but, you know, you take risks when you do things that are against what I get it. I mean, the high school kids, they know apparently in 2020 somebody else was executed for this stuff, so you know this is going to happen, but still it just feels, we talk about the punishments suiting the crime. I thought we'd hear they get fined, they get suspended.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy to me. Anyway, guys, again, way above our pay grade here. I just thought it's the most popular show in the world. We should probably at least mention it. Question is for you guys, what's your reaction to hearing about this? Do you think this is just par for the course? Are you as stunned by it as me? Maybe somewhere in between? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.